Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm going to try and attempt the 24 hours read with me challenge, except I'm going to do it in as many increments, or except I'm going to do it in as little increments as possible. So since I'm a stay-at-home parent, I'm sure everybody knows that, but I do not have the luxury of actually doing the 24 hours all-nighter kind of challenge of reading all day all night kind of thing. But I'm still going to put a timer on my phone for 24 hours, and I'll see how much I can manage reading within the 24-hour period. I'm sure it might take me about 2 or 3 days, but we'll get there eventually. And I'm actually hoping this challenge will put me out of a reading slump, because currently I've been reading Let Her Go by Blake Pierce, and I think I've been reading this book for nearly a week, 5 days, and I'm only on page 24. Yes, I know. Stopwatch. So I've set the timer there for 24 hours, and let's go. So hey guys, it's the next day and I wanted to update you guys. So I ended up finishing Load to Love You by Ali Hazelwood, and funny story, I couldn't actually finish Let Her Go by Blake Pierce. I just thought it was just so badly written, very messy, very sloppy kind of writing, and I was just like, you know what, I might just pick up another book, and this is the book that I picked up. So it's 367 pages long, and it took me like 10 hours to read it, which I feel like is a long time, but I never said that I'm a fast reader. And for like nearly 400-page book, I feel like it's really not that bad. So if you see me reading a lot of books, I honestly don't know how. Like last month, May I read like 15 books or something, which I don't know how I managed to fit in 15 books. But before I talk about my next book, I actually liked it. So there's 3 novellas in one, and to me it made no sense, like why would there be 3 novellas? Each one of those is based on the 3 best friends and their relationships, which I thought was like very unique kind of thing. But I gave it 4 stars, and only because like I hate more than anything starting a book, even though like I'll enjoy the book within like 50 pages or so. But for me, it's just like I find it so difficult to actually start a book, and that was the same thing for me, because just as soon as you're enjoying the novella, it's like short, it's like about 100, a little over 100 pages each novella, so it finishes, then you're on to the next one. And for me, kind of felt like I kind of dreaded starting the next novella. That was kind of the only reason why, but I enjoyed it. Like, it has quite enough of smut in it, so if you don't like smut, I feel like you might not like the book. The first novella is Forced Proximity, roommates and kind of enemies to friends and then friends to lovers. So I really like the first one, I feel like, the most. The second one is kind of miscommunication trope a little bit, and the third one is Damsel in Distress. So I mean, 4 stars. And then the next book I'm starting is Siege and Storm by Leigh Bardugo, and I read the first one, so it's Shadow and Bones sequel, and I love Shadow and Bones. I gave it 4 stars, 4.25 stars, and there's pretty much no smut in it, which, if you're here for the fantasy and romance is a subplot, I wouldn't say go into this for the romance purely, because you might not like it. But I'm super excited to actually read this one, and this one is nearly 400 pages long, and this is so cute. I love pictures in books, and I think that's the only picture. The book series is Grishaverse, and it's kind of hard to explain really, but it's such a beautiful world, and I'm hoping I will love this one more than the first book. But yeah, that's my little update for you guys.
finishing Siege and Storm. And I most definitely will be finishing my challenge today because I've only just under 5 hours left to go. So within 24 hours I probably will be about 2.5 books in. Now, Siege and Storm. I actually like this book a little more than the first one. It had more to the plot, it had more characters. The world building wasn't hard in this because you've already went through all of it in the first book, so you're well familiarized with everything. Emma. But I enjoyed this one actually a lot, so I gave it 4 stars, and the last one I gave 4 stars. This one I probably would give 4.5 stars. And then the next book that I'm reading is Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo, which is another Leigh Bardugo book. And there's no way that I will have that book finished because it's like nearly 500 pages long and I've only like under 5 hours left. But I'm curious to see how far I would get into it, and yeah, I'll definitely be finished with it today. I actually don't know how I feel about the book. I cannot believe I read nearly 200 pages in 5 hours. The first book that I read, The Ninth House, I found the world building to grasp around was kind of difficult, but I kind of enjoyed the story. Kind of. I liked the subplot that was romance, so I was like really grasping for that little tiny hint of romance. But I realized I'm flying through this book more quicker, and I don't know if it's because like I'm more aware of the world that was built in this book, so I found it a little bit easier. But it kind of feels a little flat. Like I kind of care about the characters, but the plot seems a little bit flat for me. So it's basically around the main character Alex trying to save and bring back this person that I don't want to spoil anything, but bring back this person back from hell. And that's pretty much all that it has been for the last like nearly 200 pages. Like I want more to the plot, but I feel like I don't know, it's kind of hard to rate this one. But overall I read 2.5 books, but then again it varies how big the book is that you're reading. So if you're reading about 200-page books or something, you'd have more books. So far I read, the first one was close to 400, the second one was close to 400 pages, and then this one is like close to 500 pages. So it's not a shocker the fact that like I'm 2.5 books in, but then I never said that I'm a fast reader. I might be more of a frequent reader, I might read more frequently, but I'm not a fast reader. Anyways, that's my little rant. Definitely was very interesting to see how many books I can manage to read in 24 hours, but I don't think I'd be able to do readathons. I genuinely don't think I could. Maybe like 12-hour ones, but I think I just get bored super fast, like reading words on a, I don't know, I just don't know. ASMR. Right, I better log off before I start being weird, and yeah, I might just leave it at that. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one.